number do you have for him?
It ends in 4 9s. I don't remember.
4 9. Okay, I'm gonna try.
So hit the well. Okay, so now hit the well. You want to catch your cuts?
Do it first. Let's teach them.
5.
Like, no, my picture's right here. Yo, hit it. Hit the wall.
Where's the microphone? I can't hear.
Dang, the volume's in there. It's right.
Is it on the computer or is it?
It's supposed to be
down low.
Y'all not gonna look at us?
You don't hit the wall, I swear to God. I'm throwing it up to you. You're supposed to catch it.
Quiet, please.
Billy, what is it?
All right, so I'm Nico.
I'm Dev.
I'm Alex.
And we're working on communication to Earth, and we're talking about.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey man, we can't hear you. You gotta speak up.
Oh, 832-567-4999. Sorry. Yeah.
Mr. Gorman here. We need some technical.
So we know that TJ is working on the communication to Mars.
This is TJ right here. This is TJ.
Hi. We watched your video about all your research and how it kind of came to a dead end. So we kind of had, I guess, some ideas. Deb, you can take that away.
So we agreed with your stance on the speed and how we really can't change the speed factor anymore because it's already traveling at the speed of light. So you can't change that any further. So we were thinking that we could try to hone in on the reliability and the actual extraction of data. We have a professor at WPI here who focuses on machine learning and artificial intelligence with communication. So we're trying to get into contact with him and use him as a kind of a support system to help us out. So we could use machine learning and artificial intelligence to help distinguish between the moon and the satellites on the moon, between the different objects flying around in space. And then trying to find new technologies that we can use to get the data accurately and send that data using the already existing methods to send the data back to Earth where scientists can learn more about the moon using that new technology.
Alright, well, my research had like a completely different end goal. I wasn't really looking at what you guys were looking at. I'm kind of stuck on mine, so I want to just be like fully involved in yours and kind of like take what I found and see if it helps you guys at all. Because I don't know if there's like a massive difference between like communicating between the moon and Earth, or like the moon and, or no, not moon, Mars and Earth. So I kind of just like, I was thinking about changing, and if I was gonna change and I was gonna like keep like my my topic like with communication, I feel like the moon would probably be like my best bet. So I kind of just want to like get involved in your project completely.
So TJ, what is their project? Because I missed it. I was calling Dr. Kamani.
It was communication between Earth and the moon, and they're like trying to figure out like what would be most reliable to like their information. Like if you want them to explain it more to you, you can.
Well, ask good questions so you can explain it to me after. Well, are they looking at the quality of the data, the definition of the signal? Ask those questions.
Well, yeah, could you guys like hear what he said?
Yeah, so I think our main focus is going to be trying to find new technologies and find new ways of getting the data. So actually finding out the data that you need from the moon and then sending it back. And then also making sure that there's nothing that trying to get the satellites that already exist and try to find a way to get those satellites to only lock in on the satellites itself, so there's nothing else in the way of the signals being transferred between the satellites.
I'm having trouble understanding what data you're going to look at. You mentioned data. Give me a little more intel.
Nico?
I think that's basically just research and like the other projects basically on the moon, or just things that you need to communicate in general. So say images or anything else really.
Okay, so are you looking at the technology?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
different technologies that you can now all the companies can adapt to try to find better ways of getting all the information from the moon back to Earth. So we already have a really good way of sending the information back. So how can we improve the accuracy and the quality of the information that we're finding from the moon? And then how can we make sure that the satellites only lock in on each other to make sure there's nothing else interfering in this path?
Okay, okay. Now I got a good idea what you're working on. You're working on the quality of the information and that idea of having satellites lock in on each other. And TJ, during your report, you said NASA couldn't do that yet, right?
It was like the certain amount of satellites that they had. It was like different things could interfere with the satellites, like other spacecraft floating through space, and it would like take that signal away from those satellites and focus it on something else and like mess up the readings.
All right, that's cool. So how can you guys work together? Now, just so you know, I've given TJ the assignment of communicating with you guys and writing a summary for me and Mr. Gorman about how we've communicated. And we're judging it based on video conferencing, the number of emails back and forth. Make sure always copy me and Mr. Gorman on your emails. And he's going to give a report about that communication next time he reports on December 16th. And then in January, he's going to make up a mock or practice video presentation. If this goes well, we might ask you guys to present together as a team, or if you give him a couple minutes in your presentation, for example, and he's going to say, okay, he's going to pretend he's at NASA, and he's going to present his part of the communication thing. So he needs to, I guess, and Mr. Gorman can be a big help to this, to help define his role in terms of your roles, and then for him, help him make that video presentation in January. Am I being clear enough?
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing, because I'm not using that. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll let you guys talk, find out a way to make this happen and define the roles. I think you guys have, about 13 minutes left?
So like I sent you guys an email, so you should have my email. I guess just like add me like a Google Doc or like a Google slide, like whatever you have like most of your work on, and then like we can try and talk through there.
Yeah, so we use Google Docs for all of our research, so we can just add you on those Google Docs, and you have access to all the things that we do. So then you can also add information if you need to. So you also know you also know that you're on the same page as we are.
All right.
Okay, so where is that page now? What have you done that might overlap with what they've done?
I mean, like I only like hear from what they're saying, like they're looking into like reliability and like what kind of like satellite like works best, I guess. So I'm honestly not sure yet. I'd have to like look at like something like on the actual like Google Doc to be able to determine that.
Yeah, because you've done a bucket load of research. He even broke it down as to the cost of what it would cost to improve the satellites.
And it wouldn't even like improve anything that much if it was like just with satellites. So.
And you were looking specifically at the timing of it.
Yeah.
So it would take $400 billion to save a few seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe you could shift that research into the area they're looking at, the quality of the signals, and that satellite locking thing. If NASA can't do it, you want to. You want to show them how to do it. If you can figure out, that's what this whole program is about, getting young engineers or young students, engineers or not, to figure out how to do things that us old people just like said, can't be done. You want to show us up. Okay. Does that sound like a good connection, gentlemen?
Yes. Yeah, and then if TJ, if you want to share your information with us, you have our team email, I think. So we also know what you've done so far, and we can try to bring aspects of what you've done into our presentation as well.
All right. I'll just like share my Google slide and Google Doc with you, I guess.
Sure.
And share it with me and Mr. Gorman too, so we have access.
I think you're already on the slide, and I don't know if you're on the minutes.
Okay. Good. I also have a spreadsheet that I'm going to ask TJ to put his references into, and then I can share that with you guys too, so you can see any articles that he's dug up regarding this. Okay. Mr. Gorman, what do you think? What's next?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He's not in.
Mr. Gorman!
Oh, guys, let me before you bother Mr. Gorman, let me ask you first. Oh, I see. You're in the closet. I get that joke now. Okay. Oh, you're actually in the closet. Okay. Good for you. So, do you guys have anything else that we can do, or TJ or I can do for you?
Not at the moment. I think we have really good foundation that I think TJ would be a really good addition to our team. We're really looking forward to having another mind on board our project.
Awesome. I'm going to ask you guys one more time because I'm a big fan of feedback. So repeat back to me what your goals are, what's going to happen in the next few weeks.
So the next few weeks, we plan on getting in touch more with our professor that we talked about from a local college, because he's focusing a lot about artificial intelligence and machine learning. And if we can use his knowledge in the aspect of having the satellites locked in on each other, we're trying to get into contact with him and set up a meeting time when you can talk with him over video, so we can learn more about his findings and try to bring his findings into our research as well.
Great. What is his name?
Dr. Wojlinski.
Oh, cool. I like his name. And where does he work at?
WPI.
Okay, Worcester Polytech Institute?
Yes.
All right, awesome. If possible, and check with Mr. Gorman, it'd be wonderful if we could include TJ in this video conference, if you can set it up.
Of course, sure.
Okay. All right, now TJ, I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you see the next few weeks of productivity?
I guess like for my next presentation, it's just going to be sharing what information they have and just going from there. And then it will basically just shift from doing what I was doing and then just go into there. So all my presentations will just be follow-ups on what we found for communicating to the moon and all that.
Great. Okay. All right. So now you can ask Mr. Gorman if if he's busy teaching, that's okay. I can call him back later. Ask him if he wants to be part of.
Fine. Mr. Gorman, you're being summoned.
Yes.
No, I didn't summon you, Mr. Gorman. I asked if you were available.
I am.
It's amazing how they changed the context.
It's fine. What's up?
Okay.
How did it go?
I had both parties talk about what their future is, and
Yeah.
they're going to communicate with each other. And I understand you're going to reach out to this teacher at WPI that works with satellites and maybe set up a video conference.
Right.
I asked politely if TJ could be invited to that.
Yeah.
And TJ is shifting his research away from the speed of the communications to line up with your team in terms of the quality of the communications. Part
Okay.
A, and part B to see if they can track satellites better, which TJ tells me something NASA cannot do. And I said, then if NASA can't do it, then he has to do it.
Yeah. That's cool.
I think that's a good summary. Guys, did I miss anything?
No, you're good.
Okay. What's our next step, Mr. Gorman?
Okay, well, I think the next step is them getting in touch with the WPI professor about AI and setting up some video conference on that.
Okay.
They've already reached out to him a couple times. It's now just a matter of figuring out the exact schedule of when we can do it. So I'll
Right.
let you know.
Has he been good at getting back to you, or is he kind of quiet?
He's been quiet after the break, so.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to give TJ another assignment. I'm going to have him look into that field of satellites and come up with 3 other backup candidates, people that we might be able to reach out to. We'll go with yours first. We won't do anything on the other 2, but we'll just gather some names.
Well, you can always gather names and stuff and
Right.
start reaching out. It never hurts.
Not absolutely. And they're going to share Google Docs information back and forth. I'll share my research spreadsheet after TJ puts his references in, and then
Okay.
I think we got a good plan.
Very good.
Good. I reached out to Dr. Kamada, but he didn't pick up, so I just left him a message.
Okay. Sounds
All right.
good.
Okay.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, Mr. Gorman.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.